guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nancy. For those new here, make sure to subscribe to my channel, and for my returning subscribers, hi! For today's video, I kind of wanted to do like something light but still kind of makeup related. So I wanted to do a challenge, and this challenge was how I did my makeup in high school, or like I've been out of high school for about like 4 years. Graduated in 2014. I wanted to do it from like when I started putting makeup on because I thought that would be fun since I went through different trends or like different things. So let's go ahead and get into this video. So whenever I did my makeup, I used drugstore products because that was pretty much what I can afford, being in, I think I was in 6th, 7th grade, and my mom didn't really care for me wearing makeup, but she also didn't buy me makeup, so I was the one that had to buy it. So when I started wearing makeup, I would only do the black eyeliner, but like in the waterline. I used to use the Mary Kay, the black eyeliner. I don't know anyone that sells Mary Kay, so I'm just gonna improvise and use the Glow Mineral Precise Micro Eyeliner. And this is in the color black. So that's how I would wear my makeup. And that lasted for almost a whole year, if not less. I'll go ahead and post a picture somewhere on the corner. Eventually, I started wearing mascara once my mom kind of found out that I was wearing makeup. And then I would always use Maybelline because that was kind of the only brand that I knew back then. So then I would just put mascara on. I ended up doing the wing, so the wing eyeliner, but my wing eyeliner was weak. And I'm just gonna also go ahead and use the Glow Minerals Graphic Liner, and this is in the color black. Okay, and then that is how I grew. And this I wore pretty much all the way up to 8th grade, and eventually I started adding color. So then I got a palette, and then I think it was something similar to this one. So then I would do this, and then I would I would use these two colors the most. See, they're kind of broken. And then I would use like a dark brown or a gold depending on what I was going for. So then I would put the shimmer. And then I did not use brushes. I used my fingers, but I made sure they were always clean. So then I would just put the shimmer, and then again I'm doing this on, I would usually put the eyeshadow first, but since we already got it on, made sure I got a lot of shimmer and then took it all the way in the eyelid. And then I would take like a dark brown and then just put it on the side and try to blend that out. This is what I would do. That was to the extent no eyebrows, no foundation. This is what I did in 8th grade with like a blue and white shimmer, or like white and green. Back to normal. Alright, and then in high school, once I got to high school, I stopped doing the glittery shadows. And then I got this, and this is actually the one I've been using, but I recently bought it again because I don't put a lot of makeup on my days, like just on a day-to-day, so I still use this. So this is the Covergirl concealer, and this is in the color medium. What I would do is, this was basically my foundation and like everything else, so I would put this on my eyelid, and right now it's a little too pink for me. Okay, so I will put this on my eyelid and like that, and then I would just blend it out with my hands. And then I would do the same thing I did, except I didn't put the black eyeliner on anymore. And then this is how I did my makeup. And that was all I did. This was the look that I usually always did. When I had time, I would add eyeshadow, but most of the time I didn't because I didn't like waking up so early. So, and then this lasted for a while. I think this lasted until like my junior year, when I started wearing eyeshadow again. This was basically it. I didn't wear eyeshadow so much because I did not like waking up early in the mornings. Eventually I started wearing eyeshadow again, so I did the same thing that I did with the eyeshadow. But I used the things that it came with. I don't think any of my palettes have them anymore. So I would do the same thing. I'm just going to use Laura Lee's palette. It's a lot easier. Okay, so I would put the eyeshadow. And then I would do a dark color. Oh, that's the best I could do it with using nails. Okay. But I added another step. So I got like the whitest shade, and I would put it in the inner corner, but going down. And I would wear makeup like this. Same eyeliner, same technique. You probably could see the wing eyeliner more, but this is how I did it for a long time. Alright, and then we fast forward a couple years, and I did this for a while. I think I did it all the way up until senior year, I think. Oh, and then I stopped using this part, and then I got heavier on the eyeliner. So this is where I started doing more eyeliner. So then this would be my look. But whenever I took pictures, I used a filter, or I filtered the picture that it was flawless. I did start wearing foundation, and I don't remember what foundation I used. Right now I just grabbed this one, and I always got it too dark for me. I never got the right one, so I'm putting more of this one than I am. Honestly, blended it with a brush. I had a really shitty brush when I was doing my makeup. It was basically the same thing. I always made sure that it blended into my skin well, and that it didn't look like I was a different person. So then I just blended it in. I didn't use concealer. I didn't use anything. Just using this, and I put a lot of foundation, like a lot. So I overdid it too right now. Yeah. And then I always had my hair parted to the side, but basically this was me in high school. Not every day, because I was a lazy person. I did not want to do my makeup, but if I had something important to do, this would be it. Towards the ending, I found out what concealer was. Well, like concealer over your makeup was. So then I started putting makeup on. But the eyes still stay the same. And then I also found out what blush was, and I also found out what bronzer was. But in the meantime, I did not know what those was. And then I always used the same brush. I didn't change anything. I didn't know I was supposed to. And then back then there was no, to my knowledge, there was no beauty sponge. Alright, and then I didn't set it. So then I would just put the blush on. And then I always went really heavy with the blush. Alright, and then what was next? Oh, and then I found out what the bronzer was. But this, I just put all over my face. So then I would take a big ass brush, kind of like this one, but it was poofier. I don't remember what bronzer I used first, or was using at the time, but then I would just go ham on it. Even though I was really tan when I was, what was I, 15, 16? Somewhere around, no, it was like 17 or 18. It didn't come out this bad. Let me fix the eye makeup, because that was always good. So this stayed like this for a long time. And then I started doing my eyebrows. Finally, these were my eyebrows then. But I made sure not to get a lot of foundation on them. But this time I just didn't care for it. So this would be my eye makeup. Sometimes I change up the colors. Most of the time I would. And then I started using brow gels from the drugstore. And this is the L'Oreal Stylist Plumper. Aren't you kind of like mad how like we were so awkward in high school, middle school, and then now all of these kids are always looking so good. Their makeup is on. They didn't have to go through an awkward phase. Alright. And then I did my eyebrows like this. And then I didn't like how the look of like your lipstick look like when you have makeup on. So I made sure to wipe it off. Found out another thing. I found out that you had to highlight your brow bone. So I would use something like this, the Sorbet Brow Lift. But I didn't know what you used, but I saw that most people were talking about it. So then you would put it up here. And then I would just blend it out with my finger. And then I was done. This was my makeup look for a while. Once I got to knowing about makeup, which was when I started working at the salon, I started learning more. But now we have to erase the whole thing. Alright, so for the sake of time, I'm gonna go ahead and do what I did on my eyes, but then my makeup routine I'll explain later. So I'm just gonna do the parts that change. From here I did concealer, but I did set it. I was using their powders and the makeup that I got there because I was learning there. So then I knew how to set my foundation, or more like my concealer. And then I would take a big brush, smaller than this but as big, and I would put it a little over my face. And I didn't use translucent powder. I used kind of the shade that I was using for foundation, but I don't have that home because now I use translucent powder. Okay, and then from there I did my highlight, and then this time I knew how to do it. The makeup artist that was teaching me told me to also put it on my nose, so and then I started getting that habit. I still didn't know how to contour when I was doing it because I didn't learn that till after I quit the salon. But basically, I now knew where the bronzer would go. So then I kind of started doing it right. But I always did my blush before. And the bronzer that I used always came with a little brush thing. That's what I would use to do the bronzer with. But what the lady taught me was how to do it with the regular bronzer. And she used something thicker than this. She used like an angle brush to do it with. I'm going to go ahead and finish my eye look because I did want the concealer to ruin it again. So I'll be right back. Alright, and then this is pretty much how I would do my makeup. I always had my hair parted to the side, and it was my makeup style for a while. I'll put pictures. As the more I learned, the better I got. Contouring, and I did a lot of baking, so then I learned what it was. And then I would always use the Katvond D palette when I got it. That was one of my favorites. But right now I'm too lazy to get up and get it, so. Pretty much learned how to contour my nose. Okay, but that was when I learned how to bake. I was experimenting more because now at this time I think I was watching beauty guru, like makeup beauty gurus. So those were like now becoming my favorite thing to watch. And then I was watching Katvond was one of the first people I started watching for beauty. And then from then it went on to Laura Lee and Manny. I found them around the same time because they were doing collabs. And then that's how I also found Jeffree Star, because they were all friends, and so I was watching their videos. And then I would obviously wait for that to bake. While that was baking, I'd do my eyebrows. What else? Oh, and then put a little bit more blush because now I got berry. Alright, and then I learned what a highlighting was. That's when I finally started wearing highlighting properly. And then I would do like a full-on C on it, but right now I am not wanting to ruin my makeup. And then I learned that you highlight your nose. And that I started doing when I started contouring my nose. but I'm too lazy. This video is gonna take me a long time. And then eventually I moved on to the Cupid's bow and the chin, and I think that I got from, I think it might have been Jeffree Star, who was the one that I copied this from. And then that was that. Oh, and then I would wipe this off, obviously. Before any of that, I learned to put makeup under my eyes, so to do the waterline. I used to not do that, but I think it was when I started watching Laura Lee that I kind of wanted to do it more. And then with that came the highlighting of the brow bone, which I didn't do for like a long time. So then I started highlighting my eyebrow bone the proper way, and then came the inner corner, and then came the inner corner, and after that came the eyelashes. I started putting eyelashes right before I started doing my YouTube channel was when I learned how to put eyelashes. So I'm gonna go ahead and get eyelashes off camera. Those take me forever to do, and then we'll find a lip color and I'll finish this video. I'll be back. I used eyelashes that you could barely tell because I find them super uncomfortable to wear sometimes. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the lipstick. For today's look, I thought the Jealousy by Morphe would look really good with this eye look. Alright, so this is now how I do my makeup. I really hope you guys like watching how I didn't know how to do my makeup until now that I know more. I am still learning. There's still always time to grow. I hope you guys like this videos like this. I'm thinking about doing more stuff like this, more like challenge wise, because sometimes reviews and tutorials just kind of get boring. Let me know if you agree with me by commenting down below. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel. I'll catch you guys on my next video. Bye!